and another area followed by the rangers that kills almost everything. Welcome to Command Point Middle Earth, and today we are not happy. We're not happy. We had cheaters. Actually, one of the cheaters is Suprin, one of the hot 3 guys, 9 wins. Obviously, you get a hot streak if you're cheating. It was very obvious cheating as well. Stupid cheaters. And there was a banhammer being handled by Mr. Stevil. Stevil just recently got into the moderation of Arena Ladder, and he could immediately show his prowess by being in the stream while I got cheated upon. Same goes with some other players got cheated, like Geraldine got cheated on, and so a lot of people they faced this cheater, and it was like, yeah, this is unplayable, dude. Let's just. But luckily, the moderators are active, and he got banned immediately, so that was shut down. That was good. That was fine. That was nice. We did find some trouble in Paradise. Apparently, Arena Ladder has some issues. But we're gonna deal with that. Or guys, you guys are gonna deal, because I'm not really doing anything, to be fair. But that didn't stop MotW and Lyra playing. Solas played, by the way. He showed me some tricks. Actually, I got mental boom, dude. I was so tilted. I played until like, I think 12 o'clock. Same goes Felvia. Heart goes out to you. Also got super tilted. And it's not that we hate the other players. It's just that we hate our own gameplay. We know we can be better. We know everything can work out, but it just doesn't work. And it's a struggle. It is a struggle. MotW versus Lyra. Trollfells. A little bit of information here. Zelenskyy beat me. He beat me. I was 132. He was 548. I mental boomed. I was like, dude, I can't believe this game got so out of hand. So he beat me. Fair and square though. He played very well. We got Maru versus Solas playing 2 games. That was really fun. Ghostman versus Maru 2 games. Finful Finn and Hoppalite. Low Elo Warriors. A 2-hour game by wubbalub and Grzesiu. Also work on some metas. Shadow of the Ice and Back 12 games played. And Janet River 11 and Eastfold 11. Hoppalite climbing the most from 416 ranked towards the top 60. Incredible performance. But of course, we are going into MotW versus Lyra. Welcome to Trollfells. Here we are watching MotW playing Mordor against the top left player in a purple, Mr. Lyra Redai. Lyra known for his walls, so maybe we're gonna see some walls. Pretty excited about that. Also part of the replay that part of the reason why I picked this replay is that because Lyra is building fortresses whenever he can. He's building walls wherever he can, and he's allowed to. I played on this map yesterday and I got completely ruined by Zelenskyy. Actually beat me on this map, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, let's watch MotW. Let's about MotW's play. MotW is one of the very early streamers I really enjoyed. I really like playing. Or watching. I asked them to do a challenge, an AI challenge, pros versus brutal AI. He did it so quickly. It was insane. It was during Christmas, so I gave him a Christmas present, and he was super happy with it. So it was really nice to be able to part of that Christmas gift. Yeah, he beat Brutal AI in like 3 minutes. It was insane. He played so incredibly well, but that's just like that's what the pros are. But yeah, MotW, one of the great streamers in the community. He is a very interesting personality, I should say. Sometimes he's a little bit tilted about the game. Sometimes he's back. He's gonna play Age of Mythology or a lot of different games. But today he was playing Rise of the Witch King again. He returned to the game, as they might say, and I'm happy he is. Interesting opener, actually, because MotW was sending his battalion forward, but I didn't see it, but I think Lyra opens very quickly with an early barracks, as he has already some units in the base of MotW. MotW still on 3 farms, and MotW is in trouble already. Let's zoom in a little on the fight here. There we have MotW fighting with his armies of Mordor. And Gondor soldiers are not in... Oh, they are in defense position. trying to do as much damage as they can. They're surviving for a very long period of time, and this is what you want to do. Top right side of the map, a slaughterhouse is going down by Mayshadow because the Gondor soldiers of Lyra are just way too strong. And here come the Lancers. Lyra spotted the Lancers, is trying to get some pikes out, and now realizes every time I send out a battalion, there needs to be pikes there. However, pikes are strong against Lancers. They're not strong against fighting or builders, structures. They can creep very well, but you need Gondor soldiers as well. And Lyra knows this, goes for a stable to do some harassing and to counter the Lancers, because the Lancers will lose to those Gondor Knights. We have some unit stats up on the website. If you look at these stats, you see this text block right there on the left side of the corner of your screen. And we kind of parsed it. We got all those texts, and there's a website. You come to twitch.tv/Enrique707 and we'll help you there. Just type ! Units and you will get to the unit stats part of the website, and you can look them up. There are some other stats in there because, you know, the parser didn't work as it should, but still, it's really nice to see. And here we have a big fight. Here we're seeing the pikeman in action, doing 0 damage, and Lyra losing the archers to the orc archers of Mayshadow. Trample is killing some Gondor soldiers. Gondor soldiers not in defense position, so die to 1 trample. And that is a trouble. The pikes are going to try and finish it. Slaughterhouse are very weak. Oh, it's tripping a little. Slaughterhouse is only, I don't see the health, 2000 health, which is actually kind of strong. Is he level 2? No, it's level 1. 2000 health. A farm is less, if I'm not mistaken. A farm is also 2000. Okay, apparently 2000 is the thing. Corsairs in the mix. Corsairs for Mayshadow are not carrying the firebombs. Firebombs are so strong. Grouped units, effective against structures. Is there trample? No, no trample. Lancers are running back. And there are some pikes for Mayshadow trying to stop the Knights of Lyra. Wargent being used, and he wants to take a fight, but Lyra's like, yeah, no, I'm not taking that fight. Meanwhile, the Lancers are going to try and trample a few of those archers. Did not manage to do so, and is now in the base of Lyra. Lyra spawning more pikes, but I feel like he's going to need a second barracks or a second archery range. But this is not enough. Uh-oh, no pikes. He is running back for the pikes, and there are 2 pikes actually trying to protect the archers of Mayshadow. But now they're in the mix. There's no archers in the back of the base. He needs to retreat them actually before the knights will run around them. As we can learn from this is that most fights are around orc archers. That is what most fights are gonna be alike. So the front line usually is just to tank stuff and distract the archers. The back line is doing the damage. But even with Warchant and Mayshadow is retreating away from these rangers. Rangers having a big range advantage over these orc archers. And we are seeing we are seeing more cav for Mordor. And we're seeing a little harass coming down. The Knights of Gondor are harassing the bottom side of the base. And they are war chanted, or they are rallying called. That means they're doing way more damage to the buildings. And Mayshadow is continuously building selling his slaughterhouse to gain some time. He is gonna lose a slaughterhouse in the middle of the map to the melee of Lyra. Lyra building a well and a statue. Can now safely retreat to this position and heal his units. There goes a combo As a lot of you in the chat, in twitch.tv chat, has told me, dude, your army is standing still way too much. You have a big army, use your army. Every time you have units, your units should have a job. They should be doing something. They cannot be standing still. That's a good lesson for me to learn. So I'm going to apply that a little bit more often. As the combo is being spotted, he is now retreating, trying to keep that harassment up. And the Lancers are being chased by Eomer with the Cav. I personally love Theoden more than Eomer with Cav. The reason for it is that Theoden levels so much being around the map and harassing that at some point he has the experience boost, the experience ability. You can level up your units very quickly with that. Ooh, bad trample. There goes a lot of the knights, maybe even Theoden if Mace Shadow pays attention, but there is a arrow volley being used. I missed it. Luckily nothing being, the archers are being peppered a little bit. And his combo has survived, it's now sacrificing itself. And here comes the heal. He lost a full battalion of knights. No, he survived both. And Lyra on the other side of the map sending his lancers to keep moving, keep using them. There is the combo of Mace Shadow has been distraught by Lyra's little bit of an army, the spikes and the archer combination. There's the Spear of Eomer. Eomer's Spear should always be used on units because it has splash damage. Splash damage is very useful, especially when the knights and the lancers are stacking like this. And there you see that the lancers now have forged blades coming from this early Corsairs building, the tavern. And here are the lancers upgraded, running into a few of those archers, and Lyra fighting a big army on the top side of the field. There's so many orc archers that the orc archers will be able to take down the top side of the field as Lyra needs to retreat back to his Theoden. Theoden placed safely in his melee range, which also gains him a lot of experience if there are any fights. But if there's no fight, then he won't gain any experience, and you see it by now that he is level 1. He could have been level 2. Almost level 3. Fire arrows on the archers is being researched, and Mace Shadow spotted a cave troll layer that has not been crypt yet, and very eagerly takes it. You see the glow for Lyra, it means there's a marketplace getting a 10% more resources. It's actually more resources, but there's also a cooldown of a minute. And if you recalculate that, it becomes 10 resources. On average, 10% extra resources from the mills. There's harassment. There is a trample, losing most of the archers again. Archers are not having fun against the cav of Mace Shadow. Mace Shadow is now being chased in the back of his base by Eomer with his cav, but they're just running around the base and now running straight into some pikes. And if he stays here, the arrows of all these buildings are slowly peppering down these Gondor knights and pretty much takes down a whole battalion. However, the same is being said for the lances in the back of the base from Lyra. Lyra chasing them with some pikemen, but with the forged blades, these lances will do a lot of damage to the structures and takes down a rank 3 and can escape very easily. A bad surround by Lyra. Meanwhile, Eomer losing all the cav to a barricade summon and is now back in the base with only 2 cav units remaining. There comes Theoden, finally get his first experience. Slowly dwindling down the pikemen. Top side of the map, a little harassment battalion, I guess, 2 tower guards with rangers. It's gonna see if they can do some damage to Mace Shadow. Mace Shadow, however, with the upgraded forged blades and with the fire arrows, are going to make a push through the minute and try to do some damage to Lyra. Luckily, Lyra defends very well. Here is an arrow volley. Everybody disperses the right way, away from the fire, and another arrow volley by the rangers that kills almost everything. There are no fire arrows, but there is no army for Lyra. Lyra spending his money differently. Most of his army is on the right side of the map trying to do damage, but now his production is being camped, and the knights need to run away because they're going to get hit by the pike. And 1 battalion goes down. There is a dormitory being made, and now here comes the trample. Gets a lot of these archers, but in the middle of his base are forged bladed pikes, and Lyra is losing all his production. At least the level 3 farm going down. Using the barrage by the Orc archers makes it that there is fire on the ground, which really quickly burns down a building. And here is the catapult, just the trebuchet doing some damage. And on the other side of the field, barrage being used by Lyra, burning down the slaughterhouse. The tower guards are running back. Tower guards dying to the level 3 slaughterhouse. And Black Orcs are way more powerful than these Gondor tower guards. Tower guards are probably going to go in porcupine formation and try to survive as long as they can. Nope, they die. A little trample, fair enough. The range is going down to a mere unit of lances. And on the left side of the map we have upgraded Knights of Gondor doing some harassment. And I feel like in this whole session, Gondor, Lyra has come out on top. However, Lyra does not have an army. It's 331 on the field versus 472 by Mordor. And most of that army is unusable because it's in those knights. There is a summon of the worm, and now the production really goes down. Lyra is losing a lot of these units. Even the trebuchet shooting his own building. Rebuild being used, but it's not gonna matter because it's gonna go down eventually, as the worm has enough time to even target the other building. And there's only 1 barracks still. This is also my problem. I have only 1 barracks usually, and I should have 2. Maybe even 2 archery ranges. Oh, big trample by the Lancers, and Mace Shadow has just more control over his army and makes sure that he can micro these fights better. Now these Lancers against the Knights are in a big problem. He's going to try and do some damage with the Rallying Call, but Mace Shadow can just run away. Meantime, Men of the West has no heroes anymore. The Eomer has gone down, Theoden has gone down in the fight before, and it is Mace Shadow who's doing way better, having 875 command point limit versus the 525 for Mordor, for Men of the West Lyra. More knights being produced. I mean, just send 4 pikemen down, and that is exactly what Mace Shadow is doing. He sends all his pikes up towards the base of Lyra. Lyra does not have a builder anymore. The builders are gone, so he needs to build a builder. But I feel like Lyra is mentally already surrendering. Some knights are going to try and do some damage, but it's no use. There is a arrow volley being used, however it misses. It kind of hits, but actually it hits enough so that the rangers can attack. And here are the knights just with forged blades. Forged blades are enough though. And there down go the Lancers. Wow. That the forged blades together with Knights of Gondor, apparently it's so much damage. These guys do 70 melee damage. With forged blades it gives them even more. and they pretty much melt everything. They also have a lot of health of themselves. They have 450 health points per person. Well, the Lancers have the same. Lancers also 400 health. I feel like that is because they're ranked 5. Like this level is lower. Most likely. No, it's the same. 400. Huh. Okay, that's the thing apparently. There's Theoden, together with the Gondor Knights. And here is the army of pikemen. Is there a production building? No, there is still no production builder. There is still no builder. There is the builder. A lot of builders being built now. Building a farm, not a production building, but a farm. He is never going to defend this attack. This is the end for Lyra. May Shadow is in complete control. There was no builder anymore. There are no production buildings for Lyra. Lyra is in trouble. A lot of trouble. Here it is. Probably the final fight. There's nothing to trample. There's only Pike and Blackhawks. They don't do any damage. And Lyra is gonna lose his base. All the builders are going down. Land being used. Ice being used. Wargen being used. It's not being used. Could have been used. There is the rallying call. And there comes the trample straight into the pikes. And Gandalf or Theoden immediately dying. May Shadow one-shot the fortress. And Lyra only has his stable left. And this is going to be a GG. Arrow volley being used, trying to do something more. But there's nothing he can do. And this is it for Lyra. Game over. May Shadow wins the game. Well done, May Shadow, for winning this game versus Lyra. May Shadow showing that he is a real contender for that top 10 place in the arena. And as we talk about the arena, let's look at the ladder. Let's take a look at the ladder. We have Awe Awe first, as always. Maru second, Mr. Smog third, Puero fourth, the King fifth, sneaking into the 5th place. Solas is increasing to 7th, Empire is 6th, Andy dropping down to 8th, the Ritter 9th, Ghostboy 10th, Eternal 11th, Trucky is 12th, Gimli 13th, PBR 14th, May Shadow 15th, climbing a lot. We have Charizard 16th, Irner 17th, Mustafa 18th, Nuage 19th, and Matty closing down top 20, taking away the spot from Rotas, who was the 20th yesterday. Now Matty 20th as a T-Rex. Mustafa's a Lion, 18th by the way, very good. Lion's up top 20. Let's keep him there. This has been Command Point Middle Earth. My name is Enrique, and I'll see you on the ladder. If you like this video, and if you think this daily idea is pretty awesome to get a little bit of an update of the ladder in the arena and Battle of Middle Earth, feel free to follow the channel and like the channel, like this video, subscribe to Command Point Middle Earth for more videos, and I will see you on twitch.tv if you want to follow the making of and the production of these videos.